All right, welcome back, everybody. Time for another episode. I just finished Crown of Midnight, and I'm ready to get into it. So, first off, I'll start by saying thank you so much for all the likes, comments, subscriptions. I hope you're enjoying the content. If not, chime in the comments. Tell me what I can do better, what you would like to see, maybe what books I should read. Uh, I'm actually making really quick headway on this series, so yeah, chime in the comments and I'll try and get to it. So, Crown of Midnight. My first 5-star read of this series, it was phenomenal. Loved it. And I know I use that word a lot, but this one was the best one so far. It was really, really good. So, this one starts off where the last one left. Selena is now the king's champion, and it gets right into it. She's going through some guy's window and killing targets for the king, and we find out that she's been going around killing everybody for the king, or at least that's what we think. Shortly into this book, we find out the opposite. Selena is kind of being a rebel and doesn't want to kill for the king, which is awesome. Uh, she has been letting these people live and hiding it from everyone, not telling a soul. Just basically, when she breaks into these people's windows, she tells them, like, look, I was sent here by the king to kill you. You need to change your name, disappear, and never come back. Otherwise, I will have to kill you, because we know she will. She can be pretty ruthless, but quite the opposite in this book. She's let everyone live. She's been going to the local morgue, cutting up old bodies, bringing those to the king with like certain heirlooms or whatever that she takes from these people, and saying that they're dead. So, also in this book, Selena and Kel kind of start dating and having a romance together. And then, so Kel takes her on this. No, it's Kel's birthday, and Selena takes Kel on this huge date, and she sets everything up all perfect and beautiful on this rooftop, and they really set the scene. And he's saying how no one's ever done this for him before, and then while they're up there, she it's funny. So Kel this whole time has a problem with Selena killing people because he's the royal guard. He's all loyal to the crown and doesn't think that she should be an assassin or a killer, even though the king is. The guy he loves is killing everyone, but for some reason, he has a problem with Selena doing it. So she ends up letting him know, look, hey, I haven't been killing all these people. And he has the exact same, thoughts on her. He's like, what? You're not killing people? And gets all mad at her and thinks that she should have been killing people, and it ruins his birthday. And man, I really stopped liking Kel in this one. So in the last book, I had said that I liked him and he was pretty cool. He's a soldier, he's a guard. Those are typically the characters I like in these books, kind of like Akatar. I like Cassian. Uh, but dude, I don't know what he wants. He's mad that she's a killer. Then he's mad that she's not a killer. Uh, he's got some confusing stuff going on. So also in this book, later on, Selena's in the castle. She's wandering around the halls, going through the library, trying to find out more about weird marks, and ends up finding some more hidden chambers that go down below the castle. While she's down there, she finds a bunch of weird stuff. She finds, something lurking behind a door. She kind of shines her sword under the doorway and sees eyes. She finds a bunch of weird like markings and chambers and steel doors, which we find out in this book that steel is how you suppress magic. I guess that's kind of like, I guess they kind of do that in Maleficent too. Iron and steel like suppress magic. So you find out about that. Uh, in the other chamber where she was meeting with the ghost Elena previously, we are also introduced to a doorknob named Mort who can talk, and he's super funny. He's kind of an asshole. He talks a lot of crap. He's very stubborn. Selena even has to like threaten him a couple times, so he's a really cool character. And we get a little more backstory on Brannon and Elena and kind of what has happened in the past, and kind of what they want out of Selena's future, which a part of that was becoming the king's champion. So one of the Iron Teeth witches, her name is Baba Yellowlegs, is also introduced in this book. Uh, she comes with like a circus group and a bunch of like performers, and she comes in a little wagon to the castle. Selena goes to visit her because she's heard of these witches and how ancient they are and all the knowledge they possess, and wants to know more about these weird keys and marks we keep hearing about. She goes and talks to her, finds out everything she needs to know, and then ends up getting in a fight with her and killing her. At the same time, we find out that Baba was one of the like leaders of a cult of witches, so we'll see what that entails. That can't be good, but she ends up killing her anyways. But finds out about these weird keys. So she finds out that there are three little slivers of like black rock, and they are super powerful. With one, you can kind of like bring demons in, open portals. With two, you can kind of manipulate, uh, not only control them, but not like manipulate the bodies they're in and do all this crazy crap. And no one even knows what you could do with all three. Change the whole world. But it kind of gives us an idea of what kind of like dark things the king has been doing to obtain the amount of power that he has and kind of conquer the world as much as he has. Uh, Also, in this book, we find out that there are more rebels, kind of like Selena has become, and they are wanting to overthrow the king, and they believe that their queen, Aelin, is still alive somewhere. A rumor has kind of started, and they're kind of gathering in little groups across the city. Um, at one point, they end up kidnapping Kale. When they do, Selena goes to rescue him, and it's probably one of the best scenes in this book. She comes in and kills tons of them. She just goes crazy in there. But someone mentions something in the castle that Kel knew. Apparently, the king had told Kel that her best friend Nehemia's life was threatened, but he did not want to tell Selena for whatever reason and kept it to himself. She finds this out, rushes back, but it's too late. Nehemia has been mutilated and not only killed, but like tortured and ripped apart, and it's pretty graphic. Uh, so she's super mad at Kel. She ends up trying to kill Kel for, keeping this knowledge from her. When she tries to, we find out something else crazy. Dorian apparently has like dormant magic in him, and magic is no longer in this realm, but for whatever reason, he can use it. So he uses his mind to like stop her dagger as she's about to kill him. She ends up clawing his face up like a cat, anyways, just to like get her point across, I guess. Uh, but so now we know Dorian has magic. Kel and Selena are no longer a thing, and a matter of fact, she hates him. Later, they go down into the chambers. Selena goes down there, opens. She has found out more about these weird marks and weird keys, and finds out how to open this door that she had seen eyes under. She sneaks in there, and there she finds this like uh, demon or otherworldly being that has been brought into a human body. It looks like he's been like tortured, and this body has been like created, kind of. Uh, but he's super powerful, super fast. She ends up getting in like a deathly fight with him, and they kill him. But at the same time, she finds out that she can like these other realms. Maybe she could like open a realm to where her best friend Nehemia is. Against better judgment, she's grieving. Opens this doorway to another realm and ends up letting like these demons in instead of Nehemia, or at least one of them. So when this happens, Kel rushes down. In the fight between the two, Dorian's on his way. They kind of go into the doorway, and Selena, we find out, is actually a fairy. So we didn't know this because the magic was suppressed, and apparently her power as a fairy is that she can turn into a human and control fire. Uh, so as soon as she goes in here, she turns into this fairy, which are faster, stronger, more deadly, and have magical powers. She's able to fight and save Kel, but at the same time, she saves him, and he's like, ah! Like apparently he not only hates killers, but he hates fairies and he hates fire, and basically everything about Selena. Even though he pretends he's still in love with her, he really hates everything about her, which Dorian kind of brings up a couple times. His phrase is like, uh, you don't get to pick and choose the parts of her that you love and hate, which Kel just doesn't grasp. He thinks he can like hate certain parts about her and still love her. It's a weird dynamic. I don't like his character in this book at all. But Dorian, I'm growing to like more, and Selena's an awesome badass. Anyways, she saves his life as this fairy comes back into the world. Once she's back in this world, she turns back human. Uh, at the end of the book, things are getting really sketchy where they are. Kel ends up fearing for her life, Selena's life, and makes a deal with his dad to go back and become king of his lands where he came from to work for the king, as long as, he'll help vote to send Selena to a place called Wendelin, where not only magic is, but fairies are, and it's kind of like where in the vicinity of where she's from, her relatives are, and he just wants her safe out of the castle and away from everything going on, and sends her off. As she is leaving, she gives him a little hint to go look into her background. He rushes back to the castle and finds out that he just sent, huge spoiler alert, he just sent Aelin Galathanius, I think that's how you say it, back to her country. So it turns out Selena this whole time is heir to the throne of the fairy folk across the way. And she is not just, a manipulator of fire, but she's super powerful. Her bloodline is like this ancient, powerful bloodline. And she is the rightful heir to her throne and the biggest enemy of the king. So he just sent off not only the king's champion, but his greatest enemy back to her homeland. And that is where this one ends. Phenomenal book. If you are looking for something like jam packed with action, uh, super like emotional roller coaster, this is, boy, I cannot recommend this one enough. It was amazing. It's definitely a 5-star read. Sarah J. Maas crushed it. I hope I did this book justice. Make sure you leave a like, comment. It helps with the algorithms. Make sure you're subscribed. And, if there's anything I could do better, feel free to drop it in the comments. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'll take, some corrective criticism and try and do better with the channel. I'm still working on my editing, the music, the clips, and trying not to mumble too much. Yeah, y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next week.